So now Biden has now decided it's okay. We'll just pardon everybody. Those people who've been incarcerated who I called several years ago, the low down dirty scum that I didn't want to hit my wife or my mama in the head. We are now going to just pardon the lot of them. I want to let's take a look because I'm not reading any of these before we all get together. What I decided to do was, as I pull them up, we read them together and we figure out what it is, unless it's something that that I had to do early, that I had to record early. So let's just take a look at this. Biden pardons thousands of people that are convicted of marijuana possession and orders a review of the pot laws. Now, wasn't it his administration while he was with the former president that sort of gave it a different level? They sort of brought the pot up to a certain level, um, a class something drug. You guys help me out there in the chat. Hello and welcome to Headlines with a Voice. I'm Felicia Lockhart, and I'm happy to be with you here today. But if you're like me, you're wondering what have happened and what's with the change of heart. What happened? Cannabis stock surges as Biden pardons thousands of convicted marijuana possession. President Joe Biden on Thursday pardoned thousands of individuals convicted of possessing marijuana, saying the current system makes no sense and sending pot stocks soaring on the news. The pardons apply only to federal offenders convicted of marijuana possession, as well as those charged in the District of Columbia. But Biden called on governors across the country to follow suit. Okay, here's a quote. Just as no one should be in federal prison solely due to the possession of marijuana, no one should be in a local jail or state prison for that reason either. This is what he said in a statement. More than 6,500 individuals with prior convictions for simple marijuana possession were impacted by the pardons, a White House official said, and thousands more through pardon under the DC law. The pardons will not be extended to those who weren't U.S. citizens and were illegally in the country at the time of arrest. Come on, man, they say here. Cannabis companies, Tillery Brands, and Canopy Growth. Boy, it used to be Lil Man, Man. Lil Man and Man down there with a dime bag. Now they've got fancy names. Tillery Brands and Canopy Growth both spiked on the news, gaining 30% and 22% respectively in afternoon trading as of Thursday's close. However, each stock still traded for less than $4 per share. In addition to the pardons, Biden announced that he has instructed the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Xavier Becerra, and the Attorney General Merrick Garland to begin reviewing how marijuana is classified under federal drug laws. Biden noted that marijuana is currently a Schedule 1 substance under federal drug sentencing guidelines. That's what happened under both he and Obama. That's what happened. Obama signed off with that. The same as heroin and LSD, and more serious than fentanyl, he said. It makes no sense. Well, you did it. You were right there with him. That's the part that gets my goat. Anyway, let's continue. The Justice Department's Office of the Pardon Attorney will take the lead on administering Biden's proclamation, an agency spokeswoman said. In the coming days, the office will implement a formal process to provide pardoned individuals with a certificate of pardon, she added. Here you go. You did your time. You can go. Here's your certificate. You went to school of hard knocks. The proclamation also formally restored to these individuals all political, civil, and other rights. Come vote for us just in time for November. Felicia, behave. Read the story. Okay, I will. Just in time for November, and other rights that were denied to them as felons. There are thousands of people who were convicted of marijuana possession who may be denied employment, housing, and educational opportunities as a result, Biden said. He continues with, my pardon will remove this burden on them. The relatively small number of people who were actually pardoned Thursday obscures the massive role that marijuana plays in the American criminal justice system. Every year, arrests for marijuana possession typically account for between 40 and 50% of all drug arrests nationwide. According to research compiled by the American Civil Liberties Union, between 2010 and 2018, there were 6.1 million arrests in the United States for marijuana possession. And in 2018 alone, the police made more arrests for marijuana than for all violent crimes combined, closed quote. The ACLU's data shows that these arrests disproportionately impacted people of color and low income communities, serving to deepen existing structural inequalities. Wow. Too many lives have been upended because of our failed approach to marijuana. It's time that we get these things, we right these wrongs. Sorry, I'm just seeing red because of the hypocrisy of it all. I'm not saying people don't need to get out of jail. Please don't start writing me and sending me all kind of cuckoo notes. What I'm saying is, what gives? What's really going on? To coin one of my favorite phrases, what's it all about, Alfie? Too many lives have been upended because of our failed approach to marijuana. It's time that we right these wrongs. Beyond Washington, Thursday's news represents a major victory for the country's nascent marijuana industry, which has struggled to gain access to major financial markets due to disparities within the patchwork of the state laws that govern marijuana possessions. Are they going to give these people jobs in that industry that's been suffering since they are so very good at it? Today represents action from the administration that we have been waiting for, an acknowledgement that cannabis prohibition has failed and that too many lives have been significantly impacted as a result. This comes from David Culver, the Vice President of Government Relations for Canopy Growth. Biden's proclamation has set into motion the actions needed to heal the harms of the past and chart a course for responsible legal cannabis markets in the future, he said. Let's come on back over here, Felicia. What do you guys think about that? It's just amazing. And I just find it so timely. I find it timely, you guys, because I feel like, well, it looks as if he's doing a little bit of house cleaning before they walk into November. It looks like they're going to have a nice little vat of people who could, not will, but could vote for him. I shouldn't say him, all of the Democrats that do need help. Very timely. Right, Rick the Exploder? I think so. It's very, very timely. It's all about Hunter, Sandy Aaron says. It's all about Hunter. I agree. I agree. Because he was the one saying that you wanted to, put old Billy Bob, put old Man and Ray Ray and Pookie Nim and Billy Bob and all of them underneath the jail because of the protection that it would be to the mama. Now, would you want your mother to get hit upside the head, or my wife or your wife, by one of these bad people? Yeah. Him and his old chick that's hanging out up there right now. Now, listen, I didn't read this story, but I think it's very necessary for us to consider this right here. I want to see this. I haven't read it. It'll be read first with you. So it says here that what Biden's pardon for marijuana convictions means for the immigrants. Let's check it out. Let's just see it. This comes from Boundless. Is that the name of this? This article here was written in Boundless. It says the executive order is believed to be the first step at cannabis decriminalization. Here's what it could mean for immigration. I think it's worth looking at, don't you guys? Let's take a gander, shall we? All right, let me give you guys the whole screen on this one because it's got baby print, baby steps, and baby print. Don't want to make it too big though, because I'm over here on the Chrome side and it gets a little weird. Okay, let's go ahead here. All right, so Thursday, which we all just saw, via executive order, President Biden announced that he would pardon thousands of people convicted of cannabis possession under the federal law. The pardon would affect 6,500 Americans, we just saw that, and non-citizens were excluded from the order. In a statement, Biden said, "My intent by this proclamation is to pardon only the offense of simple possession of marijuana in violation of federal law or in violation of DC Code 4990." Now, wait a minute. Is this thing specifically dealing with DC? Huh. Yeah. And I guess what they're doing is just stretching it across the United States, saying that everybody, all the governors should follow suit. Is that what I'm understanding, you guys? Somebody help your sister out. Let's go ahead and finish. and not any other offenses related to marijuana or other controlled substances. No language herein shall be construed to pardon any person for any other offense, including possession of other controlled substances, whether committed prior or subsequent or contemporaneous to the pardon offense of simple possession of marijuana. Now, this pardon does not apply to individuals who were non citizens not lawfully presented in the United States at the time of offense. Okay. In addition to pardoning those convicted of simple possession of cannabis at the federal level, the president also charged governors. Well, we saw that part. Well, we just got through reading. What I'm trying to get to is what does it mean for them? Because there's always a codicil. There's always this little bitty shade of gray. Anytime you're letting them walk away with, thousands of fentanyl pills and things of that nature out in California and in other parts of the United States, you letting these cats just skate, go back over the border, and not for no Taco Bell, they going back over the border. So my question is, what's really going on? Now, currently, it says this is the same schedule as for heroin and LSD. We saw that. Sending people to prison for the possession of marijuana has appended. We saw all that. The review process won't necessarily mean that cannabis becomes federally legal. Well, then why are you doing it at all? It's a plant. It's medicinal if you drink it like a tea. And in some states, it's already legal. So why are we even playing this game? Oh, I know, because it's all about Hunter. It really is. It could just move cannabis to a lower category on the Controlled Substance Act, while rescheduling marijuana would open the opportunity for federal research that could validate the plant's medicinal properties and ultimately lead to decriminalization. Cannabis advocates say that it could, at the same time, add complexity to medical and recreational cannabis programs in states where it's legal. And it could also prevent Dr. Bombay from giving you a whole bunch of other stuff that later has all of these side effects where your eyeballs switch and you think of suicide and you think of all these other things. And then you lose your toenails on your right foot. All of that is what it could also help to prevent. It says, meanwhile, here we go. Meanwhile, immigration advocates had mixed response to the announcement, with some arguing that the exclusion of undocumented immigrants in the pardon, coupled with the continued prohibition of marijuana, means that citizens can still be detained or deported. Non-citizens can still be detained or deported for possession of the drug. Some called on Congress to make immigration laws that are reflective of evolving cannabis laws at the state level. Others waffled on the actual impact of the president's announcement as it relates to immigration. For now, cannabis possession is a deportable offense. If a non-citizen tells an immigration officer that they have used marijuana, sold marijuana, or even possessed it, even in the states where it's legal, they can be denied entry into the United States, deemed inadmissible, and have their citizenship applications denied, and can ultimately be deported. I don't believe any of it. I believe it's on paper, but I don't believe that's what you guys are doing, because the cats that are coming in right now got a whole lot more than some Mary Jane. In some cases, green card holders can lose their lawful permanent resident status and can be deported for a cannabis-related conviction. Okay, so what this is, I'm going to tell you what it is without going any further. You can read it down below. I'll stick it in the production notes. I'm going to tell you what this is. This is two birds, one stone. One bird, of course, we know. Well, let's do three, because I do believe that Hunter's going to get blended in there somewhere, unless it's just those people who were already detained. And that's not saying that people who are up for a law, up inside of a different case, are going to be some of the people that they, move the charge off the table. Okay, because that's how he could be removed from the situation, is if they said, well, no, this is just for people who are already incarcerated. No, this is just for people who are already in and who are going to do a long time. Well, then he could be removed from that. But I also feel like it is definitely about November, because they do want to say, well, listen, they let my man come back. Did you guys just see what I did on the Lockhart Perspective, where they were talking about no vucking, no voting, no vucking? A lot of Pookie Nims are in jail, okay, and their bonquishas are at home trying to take care of the kids while, he's away. Maybe they're doing it in time or in lockstep with the new publication that they just did last week for their voting. Did you guys see that? Did anybody see that? Did you guys see the no bucking, no voting, no voting, no bucking song that they just put out for the Black community? Right? You guys have got to see it. Go over to Lockhart Perspective and see it. But I think it could be for that, to get a lot of those people, a lot of the women who do vote to be so, well, listen, they just kept their word. Girl, I'm going to go on down there and vote again. I'm going to vote. I'm going to send him back up to, I'm going to send her back up to Washington. I don't care they ain't done nothing, but they let my man out. They freed Pookie. Right? Yeah, I think so. So that's one of them. Another thing is I think that they're going to start digging around this bill. And once they start taking it to the court for this, for the immigrants' rights, and this for the immigrants' rights, they're going to have the same exact thing. They're going to boil it all the way down. And it's going to be the exact same thing that's going to be for the people who are American citizens, because they have to have the door open. And once they get their door open and they put their foot in, they drag the body in, then they just go ahead and run amok. That's what I think. It's just my opinion. I'm entitled to it, I think. Last I checked. But that's exactly what I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be amazing. Amazing. How can you have a small amount of marijuana and it be a federal offense? Somebody please school me. How can it be a federal offense and it's a small amount? What goes to jail for federal marijuana? Does anybody know? Is it a lot? Is it a little? Is it transporting? What is it? What is the federal level? Is it because they consider it the Schedule 1 drug? Is that what makes it the felony? How much of it? Who are we letting out? Who are we letting out, and what do they do? Are we letting Tony Montana out? Are we letting a freeway Rick Ross, who both these guys were dealing with coca? Who are we letting out? Bandit says there are none. Retired parole officer here has to legit be a bail. Basically. A whole bail? It's a lot. 2 people separately last week in Nashville were busted for moving 400 pounds. So would they be grandfathered if their state decided to follow suit with Washington? Thank you, Sandy. Everyone, give our girl a thumbs up, please. Yes, please do. Please do. Timothy Graff, how are you? Enrique Garcia, how are you? So these are the things that I want to know. This is how my mind starts to work. I want to understand who is and who's not, in the party. And is it really primarily because now we're just opening the door for them to have the conversation to edit and change it? Bail bonds, got you, Enrique Garcia. Are we just opening the door so that we can have the conversation to change this new thing that he just put out and add a whole bunch of other stuff? See, they always give it to us one way, and then by the time we look at it, we double take and like, wait a minute, who was that? It's like your aunt who not only had the surgical surgery to lose the weight, but she added some of that weight up to the top. And now she's like a 44 double D. And you're like, whoa, who is she? Who's that at the party? That's Aunt Mildred. Are you kidding me right now? Shakes alive. So you're not going to even recognize the bill. You're not even going to recognize this act when they're done with it. And I think that's what this is. I can't say that they're not genius in their approach to stuff. I can't say it at all. I mean, they are genius when it comes to some of the corruption that they do and their reasoning behind it. If you have not seen the video that I put up today on the Lockhart Perspective, dealing specifically with this whole voting thing and how they pander and how this could be considered that, especially in light of the fact that the target that they're looking for in what we covered today over there is the Black woman and the gay Black male. Some of our guests said today that it looks like they're just pushing the Black man out the way. They're pushing the white man out the way. They're pushing male straight out the way. And then just go ahead to these 2 people. That's all they want to deal with is these 2 individuals, the Black woman and then this other thing. Looked just like Baphomet to me. It looked exactly like Baphomet. Yeah, it had the VBL and it had these and it had a full beard and it had a long bunch of claws on it. Yeah. Here's my point to why I'm bringing that up. Because it is in lockstep with this bill. And this bill is right on the heels of on the forefront of what's going to happen here in another month. It's not by accident. There are none of those. Come on, man. Come on, man. How many likes do we have out there? If you guys are in here and you don't mind, be borrowed. How are you, precious? Please go ahead and hit the like button. It would be great for you to do that. But that's what I think it is. That's honestly what I think. I'm not sure if you guys got a chance to see that video. Um, I don't know if I can show you pieces of it here. But we're covering a lot of stuff now. We are. And as we look at what's going on and how they are pandering to certain communities, dealing with all the stuff that they've got going on, it's a nightmare. Hey, how's it going there, David? Gypsy Stargirl says they want more people high and not thinking for themselves, although I advocate for freedom to smoke weed, which should never have been criminal. It wasn't, it has so many, or at one time, I don't know what it is now, because the stuff that I have been smelling in the corridors of life smell like garbage. I don't know where these people are getting this stuff from, but that's not the marijuana from the 70s. No, sir, no, ma'am. That's not the stuff from the 60s. It is not. I don't know what criminally insane stuff that is that they puffing on now. And it makes them angry. Back in the day, all that would happen was they'd giggle, eat up everything in the house, and go to sleep. But now, oh no, they get angry. They get mad. If they don't have it, they want to rage and run through the streets. They want to tear some stuff up. They want to go off. That's not the stuff that we remember from the 60s and 70s. It isn't. And so right now, I think what is going on is because I think there's one piece of it that they took out, altered it, and now they had the patent on it. I think they're just able to make it extra strong. Here's the cryptochromolite. I think that's what the little comedian guy says. Oh, yeah, GMO. Okay, everybody's saying chemicals. Yes, Enrique. Mama Ree said GMO weed. Yep. Be borrowed. Hey. Yahweh said GMO. Neuromuscular disorder and can't type well. Sorry, it's okay, precious. I don't have one of those, and I still can't type good sometimes. But I do believe that that's what's happening. I do believe that's what's happening. I believe what's going on is they're just making sure that they're just covering every base. Now, the reason why I drew some skepticism, why this whole thing drew a little skepticism for me, is because it was the Biden and the Obama administration that changed it a few years back to the schedule or the one. There, am I the only person that remembers that? Am I remembering it correctly? Am I remembering that correctly? They're the ones who turned it into the Schedule 1. Yeah. Yeah, it is. And everybody at the time was saying, "Are you kidding me? What is that?" I guess so then they could come back and become the hero. I truly think that it's not the little guy that says, "Come on, man," that's running this place. And even though I think it's his old boss that's running it, still ain't him. It ain't even him, but it's him. Oh, yes, him. Now, when you guys go over there to the Lockhart Perspective and you start to watch this video about, and it's vucking with a V, taking the place of the word F. No voting, and no vucking. You guys are going to notice some things. You're going to notice an agenda that's really being exposed, and it's shamelessly being done. If they were to, it's like the Black community just accepts everything and anything, just lock, stock, and barrel. Go ahead, give it to us. We'll take it. I'm open. Throw it. They just take it. Anything. I mean, look what they did with Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. They sucked that down. Some are waking up now, but they just sucked it down. And they run around with t-shirts, and they ran around with caps, and they were just caping for BLM. They were doing all of that for BLM. So they accepted that. And then they accepted the Vax That Thing Up video last year. Oh, look at this video. Some were moved and some were very angered, but then there were others that went out and listened to that video and went and did it. I don't know whether you guys remember that. I did put it up, but it got me on my other channel. So I believe that because not to mention, did you guys see the video that was called Get That Booty to the Pole? It was a bevy of strippers from Atlanta, Georgia. And that's what they touted to the Black folks. that went out there shuffling and dancing with their little soft shoes and tap-toed. They don't have, it's amazing to me how everybody does, we do not want to be thought of in these terrible and deplorable frames of mind or shapes of mind, or these terrible, um, what are they called when you have a whatchamafigure? You guys know what I'm trying, stereotype. People don't want to have the stereotypes, but yet and still we accept them without any argument. Without any argument at all, we accept it. So what they did a couple of years ago was they had Get Your Booty to the Pole. And it was a host of strippers from Atlanta's Magic City. It's a strip club. It used to be there. I'm not sure if it's still there anymore. But anyway, they had these chicks dancing on a pole. Tell them, get your booty to the pole. Well, because all black folk like that, right? What am I tripping on? All of us go to strip clubs, right? Gross. So I think because they allowed that, now this one, no voting, no bucking. Oh, coincidentally, spoiler alert, when you get over to the Lockhart Perspective and you start to look at the video, guess who is involved in it with her voting thing? Michelle Obama. And the company that does the marketing is none other than a partnership with Shaquille O'Neal. So you guys trottle on over there and let me know what you think about it. Hey, Frank, what are my thoughts on CBD oil? Personally, I feel like every single herb-bearing seed that the Father put on this earth for us to heal our bodies is okay with me. It's 100% A-okay. That's what I think. I think anything that the Creator put in this earth realm was put here for us. But you can't make any money on that because you can't tax God. You can't tax Yah. You can't. And so let's just scratch making everything that's normal, everything that's healthy, everything that's good for you, everything that comes to the ground. It's illegal. Dude, if you don't get away from me, it's illegal. So that's illegal, but it's not illegal for you guys to pump all this other stuff in people. 17-year-old goes to sleep, doesn't wake up the next day. 100% perfectly good health. 40-year-old father out on a jog. Wonderful pillar of health. Just had his checkup last year, was headed to go have his checkup this year, and then all of a sudden, wacko, he's gone. Okay, so all of these things are so contradictory. But the truth about it is you can't tax Yah. You can't tax him. So that's the reason why it is what it is. You're not going to find that people are going to listen to you when you're saying, hey, we don't want you to have this drug. We want you to take this drug. And by the way, we want you to make sure you leave that weed alone. Yeah, leave it alone. Leave it alone. I tell you, just leave it alone. That's it. But everybody lined up when they said, oh, well, hey, this whole vax thing last year was all specifically to get people to get out and go out. And it showed that it worked. Because black people in droves went out and did it, and they targeted that group of people specifically. They keep lacing streets products with fentanyl, whoever they is. We know who they is, okay? That's the real problem. Oh, yeah. Hillbilly Heart says, yes, I buy heirloom seeds only. And you know what? They softened the blow by calling it a GMO. Robert. That's what they did. They softened the blow because it really is a genetically modified organism. And we know that organism means that it's something that's living. Something that is living. Yep. Absolutely. So we'll see exactly. I agree with that, Walking in Truth. We're going to see exactly how this thing goes in a minute here. We're going to see. It'll all make sense in the by and by, as our old grandparents used to say. It'll all make sense in the by and by. In the wash, it'll all come out. We hope. Right, Rick the Ruler? Really, Rick the Ruler? You can just touch that, right, Rick the Ruler? You don't have to ingest that, right? So they could have literally put it in his body lotion and he could have whacked him too. I know that they said he was standing outside of this pharmacy and he was over here pacing. I don't know what exactly happened, but you know what I feel like? Imagine and follow me down this lane, if you will. And I've done this before. Imagine if he were created and they made him what he was and they used the color and all that stuff and it all lined up perfectly when he passed on, as well as the dawning of this new thing that they were doing. Imagine if all of that were planned. Imagine that if he was a real human being, not just some, you know, what are those holograms? That maybe he's sitting on an island someplace with somebody. Who knows? Maybe he and Michael Jackson are playing canasta. Who knows about any of this stuff? Celebrity tomatoes are made to be shipped to China. They might as well be plastic. We were just talking about the taste of food the other day. And to me, the food does not taste the same at all. It has no flavor at all. All the fruits and vegetables, no flavor. And I always want to see, when I was a little girl, we had the bananas that had the little black seeds in the center of them. You don't even see those. And when you don't see those, they don't even taste good. None of it tastes good. I think it's probably better to go to a foreign country, like maybe somewhere out in the tropic that they haven't destroyed via HARP, and go out there and have some of those fruits and vegetables. Taste some of that stuff. Get some of that good stuff going. So glad I found you as well, Hillbilly Art. I'm glad you found us. Proverb 19:9, Matthew 22:3 says, all farmers' neighbors that don't go GMO, their crops get destroyed. Yep, food tastes different. Yes, it does. I wonder what the supper that we have when we get to the Father is going to be like. Mm-mm-mm. Imitation crap. Ask Gates. That's right, Be Borrowed. You're absolutely right. You guys are always on it. And you always share such great information. Let me go up a little bit, scroll up to the tippy top and see what else you guys got going on over here in these comments. I don't want to miss anything else. Yes, they were, Robert Lindsay. Mm-hmm. I only grow heirloom plants and seeds also. All right. Not sure. Thinning the herd is such a bad thing with some of the people, huh? No, you cannot patent him at all, Sandy. No, you cannot. No, you can't. Let's see. Frank, they'll make them have post-conviction relief hearings and make millions off court systems. Mm-mm-mm. No, oh my goodness. You know what? I need you to go take this away. This child went in there to get himself his own Ovaltine. No, don't come in the camera, sweetie. I can't have children in the camera. And he brings this to me. It's a whole bowl of Ovaltine. You heard me, Ovaltine, not oatmeal. Him's mama just brought him back. And y'all know I've been out here travailing. And y'all ain't praying for me and lifting me up with these little people running all around the house, the extra ones, and the mama, and the daddy. Anyway, Ovaltine. Not in the cup. Not, oh, ask your mama. No. But he was smart enough at least to bring it to me. But you're not going to get this, kid. Wait till I get off the line and I'll be happy to help you. Until then, go see your mom. So I tell you what, we're going to be coming back on the Lockhart perspective tonight. Go to your mama, sweetie. See, now if y'all wasn't here, I'll be putting another letter with the mama. Okay. Oh my goodness. Just look up plastic in pig feed. What? Really, Leaf Desi? Oh, Felicia, did you see that they were putting plastic in pig feed? That's probably the bacon and him they're feeding to our children in school. Hey, sweetheart, you cannot be on the screen or they'll make me take this off. Ovaltine with Cocoa Pops. Exactly. It's some BS. Biden know people don't know the law. Yep. Well, you guys, let me go ahead and help this fella. Oh, you can drop the link? Do me a favor, send it to me. And then I'm going to please don't break that, dear. I'm going to go on ahead and then put it in the community feed, community chat. All right? Ovaltine with Cocoa Pops. I like it. Hey, Jane Doe. Ooh-wee, I put up a one. I had, well, I'm not even going to say, but I'm going to tell you anyway, because you guys probably heard. And for those of you who didn't, I'm going to say, like I said it the other week, oh, well, I ain't going to play it for you. But there was a video that I had put up, and the thing had all of my bleep, 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 because I told you guys that I cuss like Peter. And the purpose for me getting this button from Sandy was so that I wouldn't be cussing like Peter. So this is my BS button. But anyway, what I ended up doing was I had I had a long video, and I thought that what I had uploaded was the one. Hold on here. Let me take off my house shoe, baby. All of these folks here are Southern, and all of these folks here had Momo's name. Now I'm going to take off my house shoe in a second. And what had happened was, what I did was I uploaded it. And when I uploaded it, I uploaded the wrong one. And what I thought was wonderful work was not wonderful work, but rather bleep, 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 get your bleep, 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 help, bleep. Thank you, Princess. I just got it. You sent it to me in my cell phone. You sent it to me a text message. I got it, baby. So with that said, I uploaded that video. And I was like, oh my goodness. And people, if it were not for Charlie Sigler that said, don't worry, Felicia, I have those bad days sometimes myself. Child, I looked at that comment and I was like, bad days? Man, I went over there and looked up that doggone video. And if it wasn't the one that was bleep, 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 the bloopers reel, somebody even said, what is this? Bloopers? Man, I tell you what, because I was like, I'm recording. Saul, will you stop it? Will you come and get your kids? I can't hear myself think. It was a hot rump mess. But anyway, now you see why. But we will be parting our ways here in the next couple of weeks. Ooh it, get out. Ooh it, get out. Ooh it. Is this your jacket? Is this your hat? Don't forget your shoes. Goodbye. Take it all and scram. Love you. Want to miss you. Don't want to see you no sooner. Don't come back. Scram, beat it. And please, for the love of the Lord and everybody else, make sure that you take care of all your bills, baby, and pay your rent first, so you ain't ever got to come back. I know y'all don't care about my crazy self. Let me get my butt over here. I love you guys. You guys take care. I just thought I would come here and ask you what you all thought about this whole thing. And you did, Robert. Oh, turn them back on. You guys, Robert said that he just realized that his notifications were off. You guys turn your notifications on. And some of you may have to do like the great monograph has said. And that is, sometimes you got to unsubscribe to resubscribe and hit that button again, clear the cache out. That's what he says. He says, unsubscribe, clear the cache out, and then redo it again. And then hit the notification so that it takes that time. Yeah. Okay, you guys, listen, we only need over at the Lockhart Perspective 50 more people to make it to 4,000. 50 more people to make it to 4,000. Won't you consider joining us over there if you haven't already? That is my desperate plea. Oh, please go join us over at the Lockhart Perspective. And that way we can hit 50 more people, and that'll be 4,000. And we'll be able to do a whole lot more good stuff. Anyway, you guys, listen. Just like we say at the end of any Felicia Lockhart Group publications, that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High. You see, we can't trust these people. I want you to take care of yourselves first, and then I want you to turn around and take care of somebody else. And until you and I see each other again, please continue to be blessed. Take care. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. Helping you along the way. Helping you to make it through another day.